good evening, and welcome to a brand new series. It's 4 Stands Up! I am your host, Michael McIntyre, and I will be introducing the cream of the comedy circuit. Cream, good cream. Cream that is still in date. Cream can go either way, but there's very good comedians is what I'm trying to say. So, yes, we're here in Greenwich. Isn't this where time is invented? Don't they say Greenwich Mean Time? Because time is quite exciting. I suppose we all have the time. It is quite a nice, exciting moment in life, isn't it? When a stranger approaches you for the time. At first, you don't know what they want. They just come in and go, "Excuse me," and at that moment, like, "What? Why are you in my life? Have you got the time?" And then you feel quite honoured. You're like, "Oh, I've been selected for time." They'll even go, "Have you got the right time? Have you got the right time?" "No, I have a time, 11:02. It's the only one I know." What a waste of your time saying that. And then even though you know how to tell the time, and you've been telling time for many years of your life, as you go to look at your watch to give a stranger the time, you hope it's an easy time. I hope I can do this. You hope it's 0:00 or 2:15, 2:45. Anything else just freaks you out. Whoa, it's 23, 30. So you do it. Take it away. I hand over the responsibility. So this is BBC Radio 4, which is a great thing. I think it always seems to be, for me, the end of the Archers. Whenever I turn it on, it's always just the end. It's a soap about farming. And I can't get into it because it takes about a minute. You just sort of hear somebody going, "Oh, pass me that shovel." That's it. I want to fool people listening to the radio right now that it's actually the Archers. Who listens to it? Who in this room listens to the Archers? You listen to the Archers. So what's it about?
Oh, it's very complicated. There's always someone doing something.
Someone doing... Well, I think we've all got a very clear understanding of the plot. I would even go as far to say that you've just issued a spoiler to any of the listeners. What I don't understand about the radio is people who phone in radio stations to warn of traffic jams. It's a very odd thing. They've actually got a name for them now. They call them phone rangers. They like to think that they're these rangers. What are you doing? I'm going to go out phone ranging. I'm driving on the roads and they chip in phoning radio stations with updates of travel news. They used to just have travel news. Who are these people? You'll turn it on. They'll be like, "We've just had a call from Barry. He says it's chock-a-block on the M1 at Junction 6. Thanks for your call, Barry. If anybody else has any travel news, call our travel hotline." Who is Barry? How can we trust Barry? Who in their right mind gets stuck in traffic and just goes, "Quick, get me the phone. I must warn the others." "Hello, is that the radio? It's Barry. It's too late for me. Save as many as you can. I must switch over now, it's the Archers." I think as people just have to use their mobile phones. I mean, you're sitting here in this audience, live in Greenwich, the home of time, and you've been forced to turn your phones off so they don't come on air, and this frustrates people. As soon as there's a gap, you'll be checking for your phones. Who called me? Who called me? Checking for messages. Messages are the most exciting things of our lives. Missed calls, let's be honest, are even more exciting. Nothing is more thrilling in this day and age than a missed call. Because you don't know when it came in. When is this call I missed? How could I miss you? And sometimes there's no number. It's just like, I don't even know who I missed. It can freak you out for the rest of your lives. You keep asking people, "Did you phone me at 6:32 on Thursday?" "Well, who was it?" I lost my phone the other day, and to be without your phone, you feel so naked. It used to be like this all the time. And I had to go a couple of days with no phone. I went to a phone box. Have you been into a phone box recently? I know that young people don't even know what they are. You think they're little porn huts if you live in such a... They're actually phone books, and there are instructions on how to use the phone. I think if you need these instructions, you shouldn't be allowed out, let alone be making phone calls. It says, number 1, lift handset. Who is this for? Who in their right mind is walking in there, just dialing the numbers and standing there? Hello? It's not Mum? Hello, Mummy? It's not working. So yes, I lost my phone, but the excitement of losing your phone is that you can phone your phone. It's the only thing in the world you can do that with. If you lose your keys, you can't phone your keys. You can't just, hello, is that my keys? Where the bloody hell are you? We've left you, we all hate you. We're hiding and you'll never find us. It doesn't work out, but with your phone, you can phone your phone. And it's quite thrilling, because if you don't hear it ring, then that's it, you might have lost your phone forever. But if you do hear it ringing, then you know you will be reunited with your phone. And sometimes it takes a couple of rings, and you can't quite find it, but you narrow it down, and you hone down, and then you find your phone. And what's very frustrating, whenever this happens to me, is on it says, 1 missed call. And you get all excited, not realising it's you phoning you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring on the first act tonight. One of the finest acts work on the circuit. One of my favourites, the glorious, the one and only, Mr. Micky Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen. Micky.
Very nice to be here. I didn't have to come too far. I came from East Dulwich. I didn't grow up in East Dulwich. I grew up in the East End of London. Like most East End kids, I messed up my education because they left the gate open. I left school with a bottle opener I'd made in the 3rd year. That was our school. I'll sum up my school. We made ashtrays in the 2nd year. We made bottle openers in the 3rd year. And we made prams in the 4th year. And we didn't go in the 5th year. We were too hungover. It was an inner city comp in the 70s with very low expectations. A fine example is when the careers officer came to our school and he asked us what we'd like to do with our lives. And it worked out the most ambitious kid in the class was Gary Hutton, because he wanted to drive a van. We erupted at his ambition. We're like, you dreamer, Hutton! Come on, man, you was dreaming. He's never going to drive a van. No kid from this school has ever gone on to drive a van. Come on, man. You know why this school is here. This school is here to produce the people who carry the stuff to the van. Very nice to be on Radio 4. I'm a big fan of Radio 4. That's partly because I can read and write. Due to a very late education, I went back to university. In my late 20s, I'd had a moment of clarity and I decided it was time to sort things out. I applied to university if we were going for evening classes and night school. I get into university. Fantastic. The accent's causing a few issues. I'm speaking up during the lecture. And I know everyone's thinking, blimey, the window cleaner's keen, isn't he? I get a degree in the social sciences. Very nice. Not quite sure what to do with it, to be honest with you. I went back on the building sites for a little while. Didn't seem to fit in there anymore. I used to get my degree out during the tea break. Didn't get the sort of respect I felt it deserved, to be honest with you. But we're very middle class. We like to sit around in the evening. You know, we dip bread in oil. I go to the deli and buy a loaf of bread for £12 because it's got coal in it. And we bought the house in East Dulwich because we didn't want to be too close to sort of, well, poor people, basically. They're nearby. One postcode away, they're still eating white bread and not getting fits. It's fascinating. What me and my girlfriend do is we go to the local eatery at the top of the high street because it used to be an old rubbish pub, but they closed it down. They put a few plants out and some lamps and some candles, so now it's very nice. And so we go down there, and it's a bit pretentious, to be honest with you. So pretentious that there's no tomato sauce on the tables. Now this means I have to ask for tomato sauce. My girlfriend's properly middle class. She's been skiing and everything, right? I know she's looking at me. Her little face, she's looking at me like, please don't ask for tomato sauce, Mick. Please don't ask for tomato sauce. And I'm like, I'm asking for tomato sauce. I've ordered the risotto. How can I eat risotto without tomato? So I park up courage. Being middle class, I'm much more confident now. I go, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? The woman's like, oh my God, the plebs are in. But she goes off and she managed to muster up a tiny little pot and she tries to put it on the table and walk away. And I stopped her and I took a sip. And I said, yes, I'll take a bottle, please. Thank you very much. Good night.
The wonderful Micky Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the BBC Radio 4 goes out all over the country, including Scotland and Northern Ireland. Oh, what a fantastic response. I can only assume that either you're from one of those places or you're soon to be in one of those places and have to listen to the radio. Northern Ireland. I've been there. I remember I stayed in that hotel that's been bombed millions of times. What's that called? The Europa. The Europa, yeah. I couldn't work the TV, and this is I called down, and I said, I'm having trouble with the TV. The woman said, you don't know the meaning of trouble. I was in Southern Ireland, which is much like Northern Ireland, except, you know, fully decorated. And I'm in real trouble. So I went to the other island, and they had, you know, the Bank of Scotland is from Scotland, and it has it in Scotland, and it's called the Bank of Scotland, and they also have it in England, and it's called Bank of Scotland. In Ireland, it's called Bank of Scotland. In brackets, Ireland. They obviously felt that they needed an extra explanation. They were worried about Irish people staggering home late at night drunkenly from the pub, just going to Bank of... We've taken a wrong turn somewhere. They don't know how this has happened. I was focused on the route. Do you remember anybody swimming at any time? I'm not even wet. We must have tunnelled. I can't believe this has happened. I feel like the man from Quantum Leap. How did I get here? I'm suddenly in Scotland. This is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Ladies and gentlemen, are we up for the next act tonight? This year, he won the Best Newcomer, If.Comedy Newcomer, formerly the Perry Award, at the Edinburgh Festival. So he's the best newcomer, and he's here tonight. Please go wild and crazy as we welcome Mr. Tom Basden!
Was the last noise that I heard as the minibus reversed over me. Beep, 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 beep was the noise the cardiogram made as all my life drained out of me. Woo, 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 woo is the noise that I make now. I've been reincarnated as an owl, 'cause luckily I'm a Buddhist. Thank you. So, I had sex with Bill Clinton. I'm not even gay, he's just amazingly persuasive. I felt quite used afterwards. He gave me his business card and a firm slap on the arse as I crawled out of his car. He threw me a fistful of dollar bills, not to say a word to Hills, and not to tell the press about his 6 dark cat-like nipples. Thank you. That was probably defamatory. This song's also... this song's also meant entirely in the spirit of fun and completely made up. My friend Sarah Cresswell is gonna be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, all because her and Chris Tarrant are having this kind of secretive affair. You'd think that there must be some kind of rule in place that stops that sort of nepotism from happening. I was shocked to discover that there isn't one. No, there isn't one. It just goes to show it's not what you know, it is who you know. It's not what you know, and it is who you know. It's not what you know, and it is who you know. It's not what you know, except when you're on the show itself, where it is what you know, and it's not who you know, and it is what you know, and it's not who you know, and it is what you know, and it's not who you know, and it is what you know, except when you phone a friend, and then it is who you know, and it's not what you know, and it is who you know. But for the remainder of the show, it is, thank God, what you know. Thank you. Thank you. So I think I'll finish this one. I've just seen Richard Madeley in a lift. I've just seen Richard Madeley in a lift. Richard Madeley, up, down, Richard Madeley. I've just been with Richard Madeley in a lift. I've just seen Richard Madeley on a bus. I've just seen Richard Madeley on a bus. Richard Madeley, tickets please, it's Richard Madeley. I've just been with Richard Madeley on a bus. What are the chances of having been with Richard Madeley on both of these things? 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,000,000, 1 in 1,000,000,000. Probably not, because I am Judy Finnegan. Thank you very much. My name's Tom Basden.
Tom Basden, ladies and gentlemen. We love him. We love him. Oh, that was great. Let me tell you about my good news, ladies and gentlemen, which is that I'm having my second child. I've made one child with my wife, and I have created another, and he is in the process of developing within the womb of my wife. And we had our 20-week scan on Wednesday, and they've told me the sex of the child. We have a boy. I have a boy. Thank you very much. I have a little boy, and we wanted to know his sex this time so that we could name him in advance. Because last time what we did is we named the child when he came out. We sung Happy Birthday as he was being born, because people, it's often overlooked that is your first birthday, and so few people say Happy Birthday to newborns. What you don't know is they're lying there going, I can't believe everyone forgot. They just can't express it. I mean, how many clues do you need? I'm covered in amniotic fluid. So I, of course, remembered this, and we named the child as he was coming out of the womb. We were literally going, Happy Birthday to... And then he came out, and I named him then. Because it's not easy to name a child. It's very difficult. Aaron, I know, is a terrible name. There are certain names you just rule out immediately. Aaron is the worst name you could possibly name a child. It's the first name in the baby name book. How lazy... do your parents need to be just to open the book on page 1? Aaron, we've done that. That's the naming of the child. Complete. Let's go to the pub. But what's great about naming your child is it doesn't matter what you name your child, everybody will like it, or at least pretend they like the name. People come over to newborns and they go, oh, is he lovely, what's he called, what's his name? And you say the name of the child. My child's name is Lucas, and of course they go, oh, it's a lovely name. It doesn't matter what you say, it's a lovely name. Then people aren't going to be honest. People don't go, oh, were you pissed? They don't do that. They go, oh, it's a lovely name. So now I just make up names just to put it to the test. People go, what's he called? I go, Bogu. Bogu, that's lovely, isn't that lovely? Once I went, Adolf. Just And it startled her. She couldn't quite cope. And then after a moment, she went, "It's about time they brought it back." Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the glorious Mr. Mark Watson!
Yeah! Thank you. Life is very stressful. That's the main conclusion I've come to. I was going to say recently. Actually, not recently. I've always known it. But recently, it's been crystallised by the way London's become. Everywhere. Just to come here, the number of announcements you have to hear on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your bags. This is a time of maximum security. They always say that. This is a time of security. As if it's just going to run out one day. One day they go, ladies and gentlemen, I think they've gone now. If you see a mysterious package, shake it, go on. Let's have some fun and games, shall we? I don't know, I think, probably like most people, I just feel powerless. There's nothing they can do. Even the police can't really do a lot. If someone's a genuine nutter that wants to blow us all up, this may not be the message you want to hear, but last week, it was on the news, they arrested 12 terror suspects, and all they can do within the law is freeze their assets. In other words, stop their bank accounts. Which I know, how's that going to work? You coming bombing? Oh, I'm skint, mate. I mean, normally I wouldn't miss it for the world, you know me. I love a good bombing expedition, but I'm going bowling later this week, and, you know, I'm on a budget just like anyone else. Oh, dear, it's tiring. And the main problem I find is normal people like you and me now have to act in a suspicious way. You become naturally shifty in response to the general fear and worry that there is everywhere. Does anyone else find they can't walk through an airport without setting off some sort of detector or alarm or something? This year, I went to Australia this year. For the first time on my way home, I walked through this thing, Heathrow, about 6 in the morning, thinking, here we go, nothing, no beeping. Just a lovely silence. I was so pleased. I couldn't believe it. I actually went, yes! Which doesn't help either. Actually, I don't recommend celebrating if you get through a security check. Really, the irony is, very often you feel the people who are responsible for looking after us aren't doing a very good job. Just 2 weeks ago, there was this whole scandal. They've lost 25 million people's bank details. What? 25 million? There's absolute chaos. Anyone could... I've stolen several £1,000s so far. It's absolutely open season. And the way it was handled was despicable. Do you know how... I won't ask you, I'll tell you. Do you know how long it was before they announced it? 30 days these CDs were missing. 30 bloody days. And the Chancellor was on the news going, well, we had to be absolutely sure they had disappeared, you know, before we... What? 30 days they've been gone? I don't know about you. If I buy something on eBay and it's not there within 7 days, I'm a bit suspicious. What's he doing there? Sitting there for a month thinking, well, these things are the most precious documents in the history of mankind. Still, we'll wait for the second post, I suppose. Is there a post on a Sunday? I can never remember. And then, later... Sorry, I'm a bit annoyed about this. Later, in the same day, I saw the Chancellor again, and this time he changed his story. He said, well, OK, we did know they'd gone missing, but we didn't want to announce it until we had to. We didn't want to alarm the public. That's a good way of handling a crisis. Wait till it gets much worse, then tell everyone. Do you realise you're on fire? What? You've actually been on fire since breakfast time. Oh, why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to alarm you, you know. I thought better wait till you were actually dead. Oh, dear. Very often, I do feel we in this country are treated like idiots, you know. I mean, sometimes deservedly so. But there are some clever people out there, and you think, well, we're not all... I saw this programme, Are You Smarter Than a 10-Year-Old? Now, for me, this is the final straw. How many more shows demeaning my intelligence? How clean is your house? Are you smarter than a 10-year-old? How rubbish is your diet? Whatever, like Micky Flanagan. Why don't we just merge all these programmes into one programme called You're a Waste of Space, Aren't You, Mark? Yeah, because that is the message on every programme. And then you start thinking, well, hang on, yes, I am smarter than a 10-year-old, but of course you watch the show, it's biased in favour of kids. All the questions are from the school curriculum, stuff nobody in their right mind still remembers, you know. When was the Battle of Hastings? Where is France? Impossible questions, So it's absurdly biased in favour of kids. If you want to find out who's smarter, me or a 10-year-old, let's ask these 10-year-olds some proper grown-up questions. When your girlfriend gets angry and says, why don't you sleep with Charlotte then? Is that permission to sleep with Charlotte? In fact... Why do people do karaoke? What's the point of karaoke? If I want to see a drunk idiot sing an Amy Winehouse song, I'll go and see Amy Winehouse, right? I don't know, to be honest, I do actually sympathise with Amy Winehouse, because in fact she's not an idiot, in all fairness, she's an alcoholic, and that's a different thing. It's very easy to become an alcoholic, I mean, drinking's very nice. I reckon I'm about a quarter of a Winehouse now. In years to come, that'll be the official unit of alcohol. Oh, I had a great night, I was half Winehoused. I reckon I'll be, literally, yeah, I think it's probably quite easy to become an alcoholic, especially if, like me, you have a job which involves moving around a lot. You stay in some awful hotels where drinking is really your only way out sometimes. £29, why pay more? I know, well, because I don't want lice, that's why. Because I have some modicum of self-respect left. Oh, dreadful. It's in this hotel, 3 in the morning. I succeeded in getting drunk, courtesy of the mini-bar, which, mini bar's a bit of a stupid word. It's a fridge, basically. You know, if it was really a mini bar, you'd have tiny people being sick outside, tiny girls crying in a tiny toilet. Anyway, finally, just drifting off to sleep when suddenly this very loud music, the music of a party, came from next door. Who has a party in a travel lodge? I couldn't believe it. And I thought I would never normally confront it. I'm basically a coward. On this occasion, I'm going to have to do something. I went round. And actually said, look, excuse me, I looked, the people started laughing at me immediately because I looked so bedraggled. There's no doubt other people's pain is the funniest thing. In fact, I have to, the funniest thing I've seen in the past month is at London Bridge Station, a pigeon just flying into a man. It's brilliant. I haven't told anyone in case I look like a weirdo, but it was funny. You know how very often at the station birds will be flying about, pigeons, and this man had the classic commuter face of, well, it's not going to fly into me. And so for ages, the guy and the bird were on the same trajectory, but you can see the guy thinking, well, at some point the bird will succumb. It's only a bird, I work for PricewaterhouseCoopers or something. So he just kept ploughing on, the bird kept ploughing on, it was brilliant. And the guy didn't even stop his phone conversation. He was such a bitch about, yeah, okay, so I just kept, I've just been hit by a bird. It's great. Anyway, so I went round. It was around 3 in the morning, music pumping. I looked a miserable state. I said to this guy, please, mate, so can you turn that down? Can you turn the music down? And the guy said, well, the thing is, mate, we're having a party. I thought, well, yeah, I did understand the situation in hand. I wasn't there thinking, clinking glasses, laughter, loud music. If only I could understand this mystery, you know. It's the riddle that's keeping me awake here as much as anything. My name's Mark Watson. Cheers.
You've been listening to 4 Stands Up with Micky Flanagan.